Hello there, folks. My name is Boonks, and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is a show where I take a look at the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 is Raya and the Last Dragon, which made $1.741 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $39 million and its worldwide total to $101 million. So out of all the top 5 movies in this chart, this movie had the smallest drop-off of just 9%, which is incredible. The fact that this movie is still holding strong for nearly 2 months at the box office is incredible, but also kind of understandable, seeing how most of the kids' movies coming out soon are either going to streaming or are coming out till the summer. And while I do think it will most likely be leaving the top 5 very soon, due to all the other movies that may push it down, I do think it will still have some very strong hold in the future due to little competition in terms of kids' movies. Not to mention that it's also $1 million away from crossing the $40 million milestone, which is very well deserved and I'm very happy about. It's been a long way coming here, and even though Tom and Jerry may have stolen its thunder, and also Disney for being greedy, the $40 million milestone is right in its hand, so good on you, Raya, and I can't wait to see it reach this milestone very soon. Number 4 is Nobody, which made $1.742 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $21 million and a worldwide total of $38 million. So yeah, it was a very tight race between numbers 5 and 4, as you can tell, but ultimately it was Nobody who gained the higher ground, making more than Raya and the Last Dragon, which is insane to believe that the Disney movie got beaten out by Bob Odenkirk. There's some irony in there somewhere, but I don't have the time to figure out where it is. But anyways, this movie just recently crossed the $20 million milestone and just beat Unhinged in terms of domestic box office, which is great, and is on its way to cross the $40 million milestone worldwide, which is incredible that this original R-rated violent action thriller starring Bob Odenkirk can pull off this kind of longevity at the box office, because there have been many other action thrillers released post-pandemic, and they have been doing less than this, so it really shows that word of mouth is very strong with this one. People are going to check it out and are really enjoying it, which is very good, and seeing how it's already about to cross the $40 million milestone worldwide, I can safely say that it's most definitely doubled or maybe even tripled its budget, so I think Universal definitely has a hit on their hands. Number 3 is Godzilla vs. Kong, which made $4.2 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $86 million and its worldwide total to $406 million. This now puts it at $4 million away from the $90 million milestone, which is just insane to me. And oh yeah, it made $400 million. When was the last time you heard a movie make $400 million? And while, yes, the movie did slow down this week, it dropped 45%, I still think it has a chance of making $100 million domestically and maybe even $500 million worldwide. But it's, even with my sheer optimism, I do realize that there are definitely more movies coming out, and it's definitely those movies are definitely going to steer audiences away from this. But I still think with the glowing reception and praise this movie got, and even now, it's still making a little over $4 million. I think this movie will still have a chance of making $100 million. But still, this movie is still doing incredibly well, and I'm super happy for it. Number 2 is Demon Slayer, which made $21 million domestically, and worldwide it is sitting at $456 million. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are shocked to see those numbers, and you're like, what? How? How did this make that much money in just 3 days? Well, actually, this movie was released early in Japan in mid-October last year. Yes, that last year. And quickly became Japan's biggest movie ever and grossed $3.2 billion in yen over there, which is why the worldwide numbers are so high, which is just insane that movie was able to accomplish such an achievement last year. And even coming in at number 2 in America is insane, because not only did it have to compete with stiff competition, which we'll talk about soon, but the fact that these numbers are so close together that literally everyone couldn't decide which one was going to be the number one movie this week is insane. I heard so many stories this weekend about how Demon Slayer was selling out showtimes and even in certain theaters outperforming the movie we will talk about soon, which is just insane. So this is definitely a movie to keep your eyes out on, because if it's doing this well right now, I can only imagine what the second week drop off is going to be. I think it's going to hold off really strong, and since how it's received universal acclaim from both fans and critics, I definitely see that it's going to keep making more money as the weeks go by. So yeah, good on you, Demon Slayer. You are a hit, even though you were already a hit in the first place, but still, good for you. And finally, let's end the video off with the number one movie of the weekend, and that was Mortal Kombat, which made $23 million domestically, and worldwide it is sitting at $51 million. So this movie dethroned Wonder Woman 1984 for the second highest opening weekend post-pandemic, which is great, and it's already made a majority of its budget back since the movie only cost $55 million. And it's, like I said, it's sitting at 51 million worldwide, which is also very good. So, not a huge, gigantic smash hit like something like Godzilla vs. Kong, which none of us really thought it was going to be. But still, this is a very impressive opening weekend in terms of like the franchise and video game movies in general. And while I'm not saying this is a failure, in fact, this is really impressive and I'm very happy for it, I am curious to see how well it will do next week, because the reaction to this movie has been very mixed and divisive, where if you're a fan and you understand the lore of the games, you will enjoy it, but if you're an outsider and you don't really know too much about the games, you're not going to like it as much. So I'm really curious to see how much of the population or the people who have seen the movie and actually liked it will encourage other people to go check it out next week, because of, again, the mixed reaction. But still, even if the reactions are mixed and it has a big drop off, this is still a big win for Warner Brothers again, and a big win for the movie. I do think it will be able to double its budget at 100 million worldwide. Maybe it'll get close to 70, 80 million domestically, but still, that's definitely not bad. So yeah, not a bad start for Mortal Kombat at all. And that's going to do it for the top 5 domestic box office results for this week. And normally this is the part where I would say which movies were going to come out later this week. And I do know there's one movie called Separation. It's a new horror movie, but it's another one of those movies where I've seen so little advertising for it that I doubt that it'll have such a big impact at the top 5 domestic box office. But you never know. Things have surprised us before, and if it does make it into the top 5, I'll be sure to talk about it next week on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you guys think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.